Hey, Gracie here. Today I'm going to plant a summer container garden that will thrive in shade. Container gardening is a really great way to add a pop of color to your porch or deck for this summer. Now, I've planted some really awesome container gardens over the years. My porch had a lot of sunshine, so done a lot of bright, vibrant colors, plants that do good in that amount of heat. I've done Gerber daisies, dahlias, I've done geraniums. Everything looked beautiful and it lasted all season, which was lovely. Now, I have moved this year though, and my new porch is actually pretty shaded. So I figured this might be a great time to plant up a container garden that is more suitable for shade. Now, there are plants that, are going to do better in the shade. Most plants do need some sun to survive and thrive, but these guys here will require, not a lot of sunshine. So be a good option if you're dealing with a lot of shade like me. Now, I've also learned a lot of great planting tips for container gardens that I want to share with you. So let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is choosing a container. Now, there are so many varieties to choose from, especially at English Gardens. And one good option is ceramic. I've used ceramic in the past for my container gardens. It's really that colorful look, comes in a variety of colors, textures, patterns. You get that glossy look, which looks nice. Another option is terracotta, more of a neutral and natural look, and it's somewhat trending these days. And a third option for you is lightweight plastic, which is actually what I'm using here. So I chose this because I loved the design. I love the texture and pattern on here. And I really wanted something that was lightweight and easy to move around, which is key for me. So just, look around in our stores, select something that fits your look and style, lots to choose from. Now, another thing I want to talk about is soil. And if you've watched any of my container gardening videos, you've probably heard me recommend the Proven Winners all-purpose potting soil. Now, that's my go-to for most of my plantings, especially my outdoor containers. It's got all the nutrients you need. It's just my go-to product. So highly recommend that one. And I've got my soil in here already. So before we get planting, I want to talk about one more thing, which is fertilizer. So you might not know, but there are actually 3 different types of fertilizer. So the first one you're going to use is a biotone starter fertilizer. And what this will do is basically, you guessed it, get things started and establish some new growth. Now, the next fertilizer is a time-release fertilizer called Osmocote. And what this is going to do is feed continuously over time. So both of these, the Biotone and Osmocote, you just apply once. You can sprinkle them in right before planting. No need to reapply. And finally, for the last fertilizer, it's a water-soluble one. So this is the English Gardens Bloom Builder. And think of this as like a boost of nutrients for your plant. So you'll apply this one every 10 days to 2 weeks. So like I mentioned before, I've got my Biotone and Osmocote sprinkled in here and just kind of stir it up a little bit, and I think it looks like we're ready to get planting. So when you step in English Gardens, you'll notice the sheer volume of plants that we have. So you're bound to find something that you like. Now, for my shade container garden, I wanted to choose one focal point plant that's going to go in the middle. So check out this awesome caladium. This is from the Proven Winners Heart to Heart collection. I love this. So I'm going to go ahead, take this guy out, and he is going to go right here in the center. All right. Now, what I'm going to do around the sides here is kind of like a trio of different things. You'll see the pattern that I sort of follow. And I think it turned out to be a really nice mix of color. So I'm going to start here with a coleus. So this has got that kind of like a plum wine color to it. I love that, and I love the way it looks with this sort of red tone and the lime green as well. So we're going to put this guy right here. Next, I'm going to go with one of the sweet potato vines. Now, this is a favorite of mine and a great trailing plant as well. Next up, we got the begonia. So this is my flower here and my pop of color as well. Really good plant for the shade. Seemed like a great option for this, and I love the way you get that pink color pulled out in the caladium as well. And then I'm going to kind of follow suit around the whole thing. And just a note here, sometimes you don't know what's going to fit, or you might change your mind. Now, I have this polka dot plant here, which I do love, really great option for shade. But I think I'm gonna have to forego it on this one. It looks like the space I need, I'm gonna need, you know, this room for my little trio going on. So leaving this guy behind, but he can be planted somewhere else. So if we're following the same pattern here, we're gonna do another coleus. Take him out. And there you have it. So I'm gonna do a little adjustments. Might need to add a little more soil to fill in here around each of the plants. But I think this is looking really good, and I like the look with the pot too. And not to mention all the different textures you get in here. I think it's super beautiful. So I love how this turned out. I love the mix of colors and textures, and I really just can't wait to watch this grow and see what it becomes over the summer. Now, before we leave, I want to give you one final tip, and that is watering. Now, watering is key to the success and health of your container garden. It's going to ensure, you know, proper growing and those big blooms. So it's something you really want to keep up with, especially on those hot summer days. So you can use a watering can. That's what I do. You could also use a hose with the proper spray nozzle attachment. Just be sure to give it a drink when it's thirsty, and you can always check that by sticking your finger into the soil about 2 inches down, and if it's dry, it needs a drink, so go ahead and water it thoroughly. So you can stop into any English garden store to get started on all of your summer gardening projects. For products used in this video, check out the link in the description below. Remember, product selection varies by store and inventory does change frequently. Thanks for watching this episode of Let's Grow. See you later. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more ways to make life beautiful.